Aloha and welcome to Breaking the Wall. Today I wanted to look at some of the different devices, equipment, and tools that I've purchased over the last year and a half or so. Talk about why I bought them, some of the good ones, the not so good ones, the bad ones, and some things I've learned along the way. Alright, let's get into it. First off, let's talk about the GoPro Hero 7. This little bad boy I bought more than a year ago when it first came out. The reason I got this is, of course, I wanted an action camera. About 2 years ago or more, I went to Japan for a little snowboarding trip. At that time, all I had was my iPhone 6, and let me just tell you, trying to get footage of some snowboarding action while you're holding on to the iPhone and watching it freeze every 30 seconds or whatever was quite terrible. Part was I'd even managed to lose my phone while nightboarding on the side of the hill. I had my phone in my jacket pocket. I did a flip, and my phone had just come out of my jacket. I was for sure I'd lost my phone. I mean, it was nighttime. Of course, it had lights on, but if somebody saw it, I'm sure they would steal it. But I was in Japan, and magically somebody had been so kind to turn it into the lost and found, and I got it back. After that, I vowed to buy a GoPro, and yeah, I've been so happy ever since. As you can see now, the GoPro is in this little case. This case is to be able to attach external mic. Of course, the good thing about the GoPro is that it's waterproof, but it makes the audio quality not so good. So I bought the Rode VideoMicro for a few reasons. One was the price; it's a good budget mic. And the size, some of the other ones are just so big, sitting on the GoPro or phone just looks kind of crazy. So yeah, I haven't put a lot of use into the time. I just film with my GoPro without the microphone for different reasons, but I'm hopefully going to be using the microphone a lot more, especially if I do some interviews or different, or if I go to some music concert or something like this. Now going back to the GoPro, uh, today I found out something very interesting. Before I'd filmed some videos indoors with some fluorescent lights or LEDs, and I found there was like a flickering always in my videos, and no matter I changed the 30 frames per second or 60 or whatever, it didn't really make a difference. But today I found out if you go to Preferences and under the region, you can change to the PL and go to the 50 frames per second, and that just magically fixed that terrible flickering. So that's one thing I learned today. I love YouTube, and you learn the darnest things there, so that was great. Okay, so let me show you some of the different accessories I got with my GoPro. Of course, they're not all here, but let's start here. This selfie stick. This bad boy I got from my sister for Christmas because I wanted something for snowboarding. Of course, this is a heavy-duty guy, can get really long, and it's just what you need to make sure it's not going to break or something while you're riding down the mountain. And next to it, I have another selfie stick. This one's a lot more lightweight, and on the bottom here, you can see where it can attach to some kind of feet, so you can actually stand it up like this. So this one's a lot lighter, but a lot less durable. Yeah, but both are nice. I just wish I could go snowboarding more often so I could put it to better use. But for the most part, I just use the little small tripod or hold it in my hand or whatnot. So that seems to be the most useful one. All right, this next little device here is kind of a remote control for the GoPro. You can turn on the recording from a distance. And this thing, actually, I haven't hardly used at all. So it's kind of a pity. I got it thinking you could kind of set it up and turn it on different things. But really, I just find myself just holding it in my hand and turning it on and off without this thing. So hopefully I can use it more often one day, but it's something that maybe I shouldn't have bought, even though it was cheap and I bought it just on the Chinese Amazon Taobao. But still, this one is kind of a dud. Okay, and I just have the normal things, batteries, cage, and I have a lot more kind of attachments and things, but not so important. Right, let's move on to my drone. This is the Mavic Air. I've had it for almost a year now. I'd purchased insurance on it, and I just saw online that they had showed me that my insurance is almost up. So a year, I didn't lose it. I was hoping actually I could just replace it for no reason. I thought that's what she said, and what I might try to do. But I just looked online now, and it said that you need to show that it's something's wrong with it, and you have to pay kind of like a little small deposit. So, yeah. Now the reason I bought the Mavic Air compared to the Phantom or some bigger ones was just for the convenience of carrying it on with my luggage, not being so heavy or bulky. And I wanted it better than the Spark just because I wanted that little extra insurance of these sensors that are here on the back, front, and underneath to kind of dummy proof because, yeah, I'm kind of a dummy and break things. So, yeah, it's been great. I've only got it stuck in a tree once, and that was like when I was first flying it. A lot of times it's gone, out of connection or lost connection by going so far or something. But it's smart. It'll come back home, and so it's been really great. The only problem I've had with it is the Wi-Fi, the special Wi-Fi it uses. Sometimes it doesn't want to connect. Sometimes it'll connect, but then I can't control it, only use some of the auto controls. So that's been a real pain in the ass. I don't know. I've saw a lot of complaints about that. So if I was to go back, I'd probably just get one that wasn't using the Wi-Fi and using the different way to fly. Okay, moving on. Let's have a look at my smartphone. I was using this to record earlier. And yeah, this is the P30 Pro. Right, China. The dreaded evil Huawei, right? Well, when I bought this, actually, it was about 2 months before Trump had passed the laws banning Huawei in the US and the whole Google fiasco. So, yeah, it kind of sucked. I was not happy that uh, it got banned. Luckily, all my updates and everything continued. Just now, maybe within the last few months, the Google store has been taken off my phone. So that's been the big knock. Of course, in China, anyways, I'm living here now. I can't really use Facebook, YouTube, etc. Without a VPN. But it does make it really hard to find certain apps and whatnot that I want to use because of this Google Play bull crap. Besides that, I just have to say that Huawei's camera technology is just amazing. Of course, this is already a year-old technology. We've had the Samsung and the new P40 Pro, but this phone, I mean, I've been taking some incredible videos and shots. I really love it. It's just an amazing piece. When I took it back to the States, showed my friends the zoom, we were looking at some pictures on the mountain, and my friends were like, "Oh my God, that's better than my binoculars." They didn't even know what Huawei was, so it's kind of sad that you can't buy this so easily in the States. It's a real pity that competition can't be allowed to happen, but that's politics, and that's life. Speaking of Huawei, let's look at my Matebook X Pro. Out of all the things I bought, this is probably the one device that has given me the most pleasure and pain. So why did I choose a Huawei laptop? Well, a few reasons. One was the price. So compared to the MacBook, Apple devices, actually it was cheaper and in a lot of ways better, except for the iOS system and whatnot. But yeah, so I spent a lot of time actually researching this and really trying to decide between the Lenovo, Yoga, whatever, and Huawei and Apple. And I made my decision. I was like, okay, I got this Huawei Share. As you can see here, we have Huawei Share that can kind of act like a AirDrop for the Huawei devices or Android devices. So I thought, yeah, let's go right in to having these two devices together. Now, what I didn't know then is that if you buy Huawei with Windows in China, the Chinese family Windows, whatever, uh, it only comes with the Chinese language and no English language available. So that was terrible. I couldn't really use it much, and everything was in Chinese. Kampotong, Timpotong, I don't know. So I had to wait a while till I was in the States and went to many Best Buys trying to find the Windows 10 Pro in order to switch it over. And even then, I had trouble. Some of the things didn't work that I wanted. The Huawei Share didn't work until I finally got it fixed. So it was almost 6 or 7 months before that happened. So I had planned to do all this vlogging and YouTube making on my laptop, but it never happened because, yeah, uh, everything was in Chinese. So that was a big problem. But now I have it all ready to go. I love this thing. It's beautiful. It's amazing. And now it works well with my phone. So I'm not sad now. But there was a lot of wasted time in between. Okay, a good and bad thing about the Matebook is that it has this hidden webcam. Of course, it's good that people can't spy on you, but if you're actually going to use it, it's terrible unless you want to show everybody your nose hairs. So I went ahead and bought this Logitech. Of course, kind of like an industry standard. I can't remember the C149. I can't remember, but it's the basic. Everybody recommended it, and it's been great. Uh, I do online English classes, and hopefully I'll make more and more videos using it and whatnot. It's perfect, and it goes well with my whole setup. Okay, and here's my Rode mic. And this little adapter here I purchased not so long ago, and it helps me connect the microphone to my smartphone because, of course, now many smartphones don't have the audio jack. So yeah, this little guy just helps me connect it and other things to my phone. Another thing I learned today after searching on the internet was how to fix the kind of clicking noises that I was getting on my GoPro footage when I would attach my Rode mic to it. I thought maybe I had bought a fake or counterfeit Rode mic, but I learned today if you just go into your settings and turn off the wireless connections, it will stop that. And sure enough, it was much better. So I'm really happy about that. Finally, is the last addition to my collection is the Ulanzi Anamorphic Lens. This is a 1.33 times lens, and I have this also the Ulanzi case, which can help it attach to my Huawei phone. It also came with a little clip that I'm using now to use on my iPhone because it just so happens that without the Google Store, I can't use the Filmic Pro app, which makes it more convenient to de-squeeze the footage that you get. Unfortunately, my iPhone 6s is quite out of date, and of course I can't get the same quality that I would like on my Huawei phone. So I'm just going to have to wait till either I go out of the country so I can use the Google Play Store, or yeah, I don't know, we'll see. Another problem I had with the anamorphic lens is that a lot of my footage will be distorted. And what I saw is that because many of the lenses are not exactly 1.33, so you have to kind of figure out what is your lens, maybe a little bit more or less than that, and de-squeeze it yourself post-production. So I don't have at this time also some of the other video editing uh, programs that would allow me to do that easily. So at the moment, I'm just using the anamorphic lens to get some cool night shots, some B-roll, and some cool shots. As long as I don't move the camera too much, uh, it's stable and not so, how to say, deformed. But it's a cool little toy. I wish I would have known that those problems existed beforehand, but again, with the Ulanzi anamorphic lens, it was pretty cheap and affordable, so to get these cool shots, you really can't complain compared to how much you would have to spend for some anamorphic lens for another camera. So all in all, I'd have to say my least used and favorite purchase was the GoPro remote. Now, a Huawei computer is one of my favorite, even though it was a pain in the you-know-what. Oh, and I almost forgot. Last year, my Passport Wireless Pro, you know, everything I have is Pro, 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 and I'm not a pro, so anyways. Uh, this little bad boy is where I keep all my footage, different files and whatnot. Hopefully, it will keep filling up with more beautiful footy. I haven't used it to its full potential yet. I don't stream movies or music or anything off of it. But yeah, I'm still learning how to use it, and hopefully as I get more and more into making vlogs, I can start really using this more and more. So this little thing has also been a great buy. Okay, well now that you've seen my collection, let's see what they can do. Thank you guys, and